Jason Soul, you met him when this story began after the death of George Floyd. Jason's back. He's an adjunct professor at Hamline University. He's the co-founder of what you'll see on his hoodie. It's called Humanize My Hoodie Project. And also former president of the Minneapolis civil rights organization, the NAACP. He's in Eagan, Minnesota this morning. And Jason, we are very happy to have you back with us today. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me back.
You know, I'd love to
it.
begin our conversation with the moment as you experienced it, Jason, as you were watching the broadcast of that court proceeding and heard guilty, guilty, guilty. What were you doing and thinking?
I think I was more so shocked. You know, we haven't heard that. We've been in this for a long time. I think, back, 7, 8 years, we were fighting, for Jamar Clark and Philando Castile and so many others. So we never heard those words applied to a police officer, guilty on all counts. So I think I was trying to process it, but I wanted to be in the comfort of my home with my wife and children, because if it was another not guilty verdict, I think, the cities would have erupted. So I was just wanted to be poised. I wanted to be in the comfort of my home and not be around a lot of people and have that energy. So I think I was shocked. Yeah,
Shocked?
I think I'm still kind of shocked.
Really? Shocked at the idea that a police officer could ever be convicted of killing a black man? Is that at the root of it?
Absolutely. We don't see it. We know so many people who had footage, and we know a lot of people that didn't have camera footage, and it didn't matter. It's like the police were always able to walk away and evade being held accountable. So in this situation, I was very happy, but I'm still a little worried about sentencing, but I want to let people have their celebration and hold on to this moment before I get into that, the sad reality of, the penalty. I think 180 months is the maximum, and I don't think the Judge Cahill will run those sentences consecutive. I think they'll be run concurrent. So we're looking at, him being incarcerated for less than 10. So I don't even want to jump too far ahead of that, because I know people in the cities needed this, and I want to allow them to have their time to, process it fully.
The moment. Just a moment more on the fact that even though there was the video, which you just mentioned, and the whole world saw exactly what happened and how George Floyd's life came to an end, even though that was there was still in your mind the thought that the police officer was going to be acquitted.
Yeah, court systems of America don't value black life. They're accustomed to throwing us in prison and working with cops in prosecution. So it's a little weird for them to actually prosecute a police officer. That's not common. So I'm never hopeful in those situations, because they collude so much on a day-to-day that when it's time to hold a cop accountable, it's very difficult. And they have that, they have to get their verbiage right and have to always go back to the table and rephrase things, because they're just not accustomed to holding police accountable. So yeah, I was a little, pessimistic about it, and I'm grateful, that he was held accountable. But George Floyd should be here, and we shouldn't have to watch that 9 minutes and 29 seconds over and over and over again. So we need to change the process of holding people accountable, because that wasn't right for us to be re-traumatized over and over and over, for these few weeks.
Accountable, you just used that word, and that's one I've been hearing a lot in the last 18 hours or so. Yes, justice, but that this is a moment of accountability. What does that mean to you?
He's somebody who actually has to go through some kind of pain or turmoil for what he did. But justice, like everybody has been saying, would be, George Floyd's daughter having her father. You know what I mean? That's what justice would be, where he can actually, be on this earth and have his life and play basketball and be with his families. And you can't make that happen. You can't rewind and, bring him back. But, we're so accustomed to being harmed that we really don't know what justice would look like, because we're so far from it. Being black in America, it's like we still enslaved here, and we try to make steps and progress. And yesterday, was a moment of hope, and we got to be disciplined in that hope and continue to fight.
But in the face of that hope, Daunte Wright's going to be buried today. And we're just reporting on a 15-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio, who was killed in some interaction with police. This has not stopped the deadly confrontations.
Yeah. We got to abolish police. That's just what it boils down to. I am somebody who's very on the ground in terms of how do we love and protect each other? What tools do we have? What resources do we have? Because 911 has never been an option. And, I send my condolences to the Wright family. And I've been, playing my part behind the scenes. And, his dad, Aubrey Wright was, one of my friends, earlier in life. So it's like, I got connections to that family, and I just feel so bad, for what they going through. And especially I saw the footage of the young girl, and I probably shouldn't have watched it last night, but I did. And it's unacceptable, and we're tired of it. So we got to think about abolition. We can't keep talking reform because it's just not working.
Okay. Let me ask you then to conclude. I really so enjoy hearing you when you're on our program. People are looking at as a moment, as a step forward, but how do you make sure that this moment is not wasted, that there is in fact a movement toward the overall, the future as you see it? How do you ensure that this time does not go to waste?
Yeah, we got to organize. All of the people who show up for protests, you got to do deeper organizing. Talk to the people in your closest network and say, what do you need to be safe? How do I love you and hold you accountable? And we just got to make sure everybody is well. Like Tupac said, we got money for wars, we can't feed the poor. So our priorities are off, and the people got to stay united on a day-to-day basis and actually create the change that we want, because we don't have faith in our government officials to do that work that we elected them to do. So it's in our hands, and I think everybody's ready to roll up their sleeves and get to it.
Jason Soule, we'll look forward to the next time you're on the program with us. Thank you for this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.